Hello. Welcome back to Go With The Flow. I'm Kate, taking over for Lauren again. Miss you, Queen. I'm here with my dear friends, Sam and Tom. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves? How long have you been working at the Writing Center? What are your majors? What are your plans after you graduate?
Yeah, I am Tom Harless. I am in my second year at the Writing Center. I'm a graduate assistant, getting my master's in physics. I graduate this semester. Plans are to hopefully go for a PhD. Still waiting to hear back, but if that doesn't work out, I will happily get a job and make some money.
Yay!
Yay, Tom. I'm Samuel McFerrin. I'm a double major in English and philosophy, graduating in May, at the end of this semester. I've been working at the Writing Center for 9 weeks now. And this is, of course, my final semester. Next year, I'll be attending the University of Chicago for their Master's of Arts program in the humanities.
Slay.
That's awesome.
Yay, Sam! You guys are both graduating. So tragic. Okay, so I wanted to ask you guys some questions about being a new mentor versus being an old mentor. Not an old mentor. More experienced mentor. So this is for a question for both of you, and then I have individual questions. So my first question is, when you have an appointment, how do you introduce yourself and the center in order for the appointment to go smoothly?
Well, I always welcome the writer. The Writing Center can be intimidating if you've never, well, for some people it might be intimidating if you've never been there. There's oftentimes a lot of activity going on and not sure what to expect. So always say hi and smile, shake their hand if they're willing to do that. And yeah, just ask them where they'd like to sit down. And we typically can tell if it's a first time appointment on their appointment slip.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's their first time, I definitely let them know that, we're just here to help and provide an extra set of eyes. So make them feel comfortable. And, it can be obviously a little scary to share your own writing with some a stranger. So make them feel at ease as much as possible, because it's a very nice place.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the most important thing is making them feel at ease. I always go in for a hug. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, I usually just introduce myself, kind of say a little bit about my specialties with which formats I work with, and I try to get kind of as quickly into what the writer is there to work on that day, especially if our appointment is 30 minutes as opposed to an hour or an hour and a half. I just try to get the ball rolling. It's their first time. I give them the whole spiel about we're here to help you, not necessarily like this paper specifically, but we're going to work on your skills via whatever project you're working on.
Okay. How has your philosophy of going about appointments changed from your first appointment or your first couple appointments? Like, in the beginning, how did you think it was going to go, and how have you adapted to how it actually goes?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Thanks.
When I first started, I felt like I may have talked a little bit more and needed to be quote unquote an expert.
Right.
Which, obviously we're all good writers. We're all in the Writing Center. We're all, we're trained to be mentors. So the first few appointments, I tried to maybe speak a little bit more and take charge. But as I've been here a couple years, I've come to realize that it's okay to, I don't want to say take a back seat, but the writer is the owner of the paper. So you want them to try and talk more and really understand what they have to say. Obviously, we still provide our feedback and our expert opinion on things. But yeah, I think just taking a little bit of a step back to let them talk more and also slow it down more. I've been more comfortable with just asking questions and saying, I do not understand this. So,
right.
So it's, slowing it down a little bit.
Yes. Your first appointment was 7 weeks ago.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So, how did that go, and how do you feel now when you do an appointment as opposed to then?
I definitely feel more comfortable. I think, I had those opening 3 weeks of being blocked off working with Tom or Dylan or just going over stuff with Jasmine and McNamara about different writing center pedagogy, reading a lot of materials on like writing center theory and all of that. But when I got to, I think my first appointment was a video appointment, so it took a little bit of the pressure off. I think there's more pressure with in-person appointments, if that makes sense. So when I saw that my first appointment was scheduled, I kind of got this sense of dread.
Yeah.
But now I'm really happy when I see that my schedule is full.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, next question, mostly for Tom. I wanted to talk about being burnt out. So, like, how do you keep from being burnt out, like, emotionally?
I don't get burned out because of the wonderful people I work with in the writing center.
Aww, that's so nice.
How can anyone? Yeah.
True.
But also, it's a great job because it's new every day.
Yeah.
It's not monotonous whatsoever.
Right.
Obviously, yeah. I mean, you'll have a lot to do sometimes. A lot of reading. You could have back-to-back appointments of various different subjects, so it's hard to keep your head on straight sometimes. But it's always an opportunity to learn and meet new people and grow. It's been fun.
Nice. What about you?
Yeah, I think to kind of build off of that is it's very easy to kind of have fun at the writing center because you are constantly learning as you're mentoring. So like you'll have one project from an aviation major and then your next appointment might be nursing. The one after that might be college writing, and it kind of keeps you on your toes. You're kind of always having to bracket certain things to enter new mindsets. And again, you just meet new people all day and read new words that you had no idea existed, especially if it's a nursing paper.
Yes.
But there's always this environment of learning with the writer as you go. So in that collaborative process, even though we are mentoring, we're also learning a lot about them, their writing process, and the projects they're working on.
Yeah.
Tom just gave me a fist bump.
Sam and I are just killing this interview.
Yeah.
You are.
It also helps
job.
that the writing center has a beta fish, Jimmy Page. Every day he's alive is
True.
another day I'm alive.
True. Jimmy Page.
Jimmy Page is a true sign of resilience.
He
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Let's talk about him for the rest of the podcast.
Talk about our fish. I wanted to ask you, Tom. Sorry, Sam.
You're okay.
You work over the summer, right?
Yep, I was here over the summer.
Okay. I'm not delusional then. How does tutoring over the summer differ from the spring and fall?
Well, there's seasons. So the sun is higher up in the
Shut up.
It's a lot warmer.
The library is really hot.
I think a few more graduate classes, or there's obviously less classes in general going on in the summer, so a higher proportion of them, I believe, are graduate classes. So still working with a lot of nursing papers. There were less of us in the writing center to match the less number of students on campus, but yeah, it was still mostly the same. All the appointment types, but once again, yeah, mostly I'd say graduate nursing papers, which are a significant part of what we reread anyway.
They fist bumped again. So I wanted to ask you guys what your favorite fictional character is.
Ebenezer Scrooge.
Okay.
Nice.
I like how he's just such a callous, so mean, and then changes. Yeah, just it's a great story, and I feel for the guy, and I can see how somebody can get that way, and hopefully change. But I don't know, it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's a very good, I think, characterization of that kind of person.
Okay, so this is going to sound fake because I am blanking on the character's name, but the daughter from Ana Castillo's So Far From God. So basically she dies when she's 5 and gets buried, but then gets resurrected at the funeral, and people freak out. And so she like kind of becomes this Christ-like figure throughout the entire novel. Like initially the town is overwhelmed by the miracle. A lot of people like call her the devil, even though like they themselves are religious. So it's like she kind of serves as this commentary of what would a lot of religious people actually think if they saw miracles performed in front of their own eyes. But as the novel goes on, she just kind of gets forgotten from the town. It's kind of, how would a small town deal with this? It's like, oh yeah, that's just that crazy girl that like got brought back from the dead.
Oh yeah.
But she's a really fun character to follow. It's a pretty short book, like 150 pages.
I should have thought of mine.
Yeah, what's
One of you
yours?
guys.
Yeah, what's yours?
I was gonna say maybe like all of the March sisters from Little Women combined
Wow,
in
shocking.
one. I know, such a shocking answer from you guys. Nobody saw that coming. I like Meg a
Oh,
lot.
okay. Yeah,
I think
Meg's good.
because she's just like really nice and sweet, and she just wants to like get married and vibe.
Yeah.
She doesn't have any like crazy ambitions,
This is Little Women.
which is kind of me. Yeah. I just think I'm like an amalgamation of all of them into one. Okay. So Shannon came up with this next segment. Word of the week. Word of the week. Okay.
Exciting.
You have to use it in a sentence. Okay. The word is indubitably.
Okay. I can use that in a sentence.
Go for it.
The word of the week is indubitably.
That doesn't count.
Sam indubitably knows the definition of indubitably.
Yeah.
I indubitably do not know the definition of indubitably.
I didn't even write down the definition. Can somebody look it up?
Tom is indubitably mad interesting.
Actually, that is the best way of using it in a sentence.
Yeah.
There you go.
Tom is managed. What
yeah.
is it?
Yeah.
Josh says the definition is without doubt or certainly.
Yeah, so I meant to say, yeah, Sam does not indubitably know.
Right. Yeah.
INDUB.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
It's either a T or
T.
a D. Indubit. T.
Uh-huh.
INDUBIT.
Uh-huh.
IBLY. Indubitably.
You messed it up at the end.
A-B-L-Y.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's ABLY.
Oh.
Thank you guys for listening. This is Go With The Flow. I'm Kate, the host. Thank you, Tom and Sam, for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you. This is really fun.
You're welcome. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed are the speaker's own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of Lewis University. The material and information presented here is for general information purposes only. The Lewis University name in all forms and abbreviations are the property of its owner, and its use does not imply endorsement of or opposition to any specific organization, product, or service. This podcast was produced in the WLRA podcast studios at Lewis University. Visit lewisu.edu for more information about Lewis University.